Today, we're talking about one category of foods that researchers around the world continue to study for their powerful role in cell protection, DNA repair support, and creating an environment where disease struggles to thrive. Most people think of DNA as something fixed, something you're born with and can't change. But that belief is outdated. The truth is far more important and far more empowering. Your DNA is under attack every single day. Not because your body is weak, but because modern life is intense. From the moment you wake up, your cells face challenges: pollution in the air, chemicals in food packaging, highly processed meals, excess sugar, chronic stress, poor sleep mental toxins, inflammation. All of these factors can cause DNA damage at the cellular level. This damage doesn't mean disease will happen, but ignoring it over time increases risk. Here's the powerful part most people don't hear: backhand index pointing right. Your body was designed to repair DNA damage. You are not fragile. You are adaptive. You are biologically equipped to survive. Your body is always repairing itself every second of every day. Your body is working behind the scenes, identifying damaged DNA, repairing broken strands, removing faulty cells, replacing them with healthy ones. This process happens naturally through systems like DNA repair, enzymes, antioxidant defense networks, immune surveillance, cellular cleanup processes. But here's the catch: these systems require resources. Just like a repair crew needs tools, your cells need nutrients. Without proper fuel, repair slows down. When repair slows down, damage accumulates. When damage accumulates long enough, problems begin. Modern life increases DNA stress our ancestors didn't deal with. Ultra-processed foods, artificial additives, constant screen exposure, high sugar consumption, chronic stress without recovery today. These stressors are normal, and they place a heavy burden on your cells. One of the biggest threats is oxidative stress. Oxidative stress happens when harmful molecules called free radicals outnumber the body's defenses. These free radicals can damage DNA, proteins, and cell membranes. And guess what creates more free radicals? Junk food, excess sugar, smoking, and pollution, lack of sleep, emotional stress. This doesn't mean panic. It means awareness. Why nutrition matters at the DNA level. Your DNA repair systems depend on vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, antioxidants. These do not come from pills alone. They come primarily from real food. When your diet lacks these compounds, DNA repair becomes less efficient, inflammation increases, cellular communication weakens. But when your diet is rich in whole foods, repair systems become stronger, cells communicate properly, the body maintains balance. Food doesn't change your genes, but it influences how your genes behave. That field is called epigenetics, and it proves something powerful. Backhand index pointing right. Your lifestyle choices can influence which genes are activated or silenced. Damage is normal. Neglect is the problem. DNA damage itself is not the enemy. It's unavoidable. The real danger comes from repeated damage, poor repair, chronic inflammation, long-term neglect. Think of it like a crack in a wall. One crack isn't the issue. Ignoring it for years is. Your body can handle stress, but it needs recovery. Food can either increase damage or support repair. Highly processed foods often increase inflammation, spike blood sugar, generate oxidative stress, overload detox systems. Whole foods, especially plant-rich foods, do the opposite. Neutralize free radicals, support detox pathways, provide building blocks for repair. This is not about perfection. This is about direction. Every healthy meal is a vote for repair. Every poor choice is a vote for stress. Over time, those votes add up. This is not fear. This is control. This information is not meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. You are not powerless against biology. You are an active participant in it. You can't avoid all toxins. You can't eliminate all stress, but you can support your body's ability to recover. And it starts with understanding this truth. Backhand index pointing right. Your DNA is constantly challenged. Backhand index pointing right. Your body is constantly repairing. Backhand index pointing right. Your daily choices decide how well it succeeds. Closing thought for this key point: you don't need extreme diets. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need fear-based decisions. You need awareness, you need consistency, you need respect for your body because your body is not waiting to fail. It's waiting to be supported, and the first step is realizing this. When people hear the phrase food can repair DNA, it often sounds dramatic or exaggerated. But the real truth is more grounded and far more powerful. Food doesn't magically rewrite your DNA. Food supports the systems your body already uses to protect, maintain, and repair it, and those systems are working right now, whether you support them or not. Your body has built-in repair tools. Your body is incredibly intelligent. Inside every cell are specialized systems designed to detect DNA damage, correct errors during cell replication, remove damaged cell components, maintain healthy cell function, but these systems don't work in isolation. They depend on vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, enzymes, phytochemicals from food. Without these tools, repair becomes slower and less effective. Over time, that imbalance matters. Why nutrients matter at the cellular level. Every time your cells divide, your DNA must be copied. That process is precise but not perfect. Small errors can happen. Here's where nutrition plays a role. Certain nutrients help stabilize DNA structures, protect DNA from oxidative damage, support enzymes involved in repair, reduce inflammation that interferes with healing. Foods rich in natural compounds help maintain an internal environment where cells function properly. This doesn't mean food replaces medical care. It means food helps your body do its job better. Antioxidants, the first line of defense. One of the most studied ways food supports DNA health is through antioxidants. Antioxidants help neutralize free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage DNA. You find antioxidants in berries, leafy greens, colorful vegetables, herbs, and spices, green tea. These foods don't eliminate damage completely, but they reduce the load, giving repair systems a fighting chance. Less damage means less work. Less work means better balance. Phytochemicals, small compounds. Big influence. Plants contain natural compounds called phytochemicals. These aren't nutrients you need to survive, but they play powerful supportive roles. Phytochemicals help activate detox pathways, support cell signaling, reduce chronic inflammation, influence gene expression. This is where science meets lifestyle. Food can influence how your genes behave, not by changing them, but by affecting which ones are turned on or off. That's why two people with similar genetics can have very different health outcomes. Inflammation blocks repair. Chronic inflammation is one of the biggest enemies of DNA repair. When inflammation is constantly high, repair enzymes work less efficiently. Cells stay in survival mode. Healing is delayed. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, and poor quality fats tend to increase inflammation. Whole foods, especially plant-based foods, help calm it. Lower inflammation creates space for repair. And repair is where long-term protection begins. Food sends instructions to your cells. Food is not just fuel. Food is information. Every bite sends signals that affect hormones, blood sugar, immune response, cellular stress levels. Highly processed foods send messages of overload and imbalance. Whole foods send messages of stability and repair. Your cells respond accordingly. Consistency is the real secret. No single meal repairs DNA. No single food creates protection. It's the pattern that matters. Daily habits shape your internal environment. What you eat most often, how regularly you eat whole foods, how much sugar and processed food you consume. Small choices repeated daily create powerful long-term effects. Progress matters more than perfection. This is support, not a cure. It's important to be clear and honest. Food does not cure disease. Food does not replace doctors. Food does not guarantee outcomes, but food supports your body's natural defense systems, and that support matters. Especially over years, especially over decades. Closing thought for this key point: your body already knows how to protect itself. It already knows how to repair damage. It already knows how to survive. Your job is simple but powerful. Back, hand index pointing right, give it the tools. Back, hand index pointing right, reduce unnecessary stress. Back, hand index pointing right, make consistent, supportive choices, because when you nourish your body properly, you're not forcing healing, you're allowing it, and that may be the most powerful choice you make every single day. One of the most misunderstood ideas in health conversations is this phrase: cancer thrives in certain environments. This does not mean food causes or cures cancer. It means the internal conditions of the body matter more than most people realize. Your body is an ecosystem, and like any ecosystem, some conditions support balance while others allow problems to grow. Understanding inflammation. Inflammation is a natural defense process. Short-term inflammation helps you heal injuries, fight infections, repair tissue, but when inflammation becomes chronic, it stops being protective and starts becoming destructive. Chronic inflammation keeps the body in a constant state of stress. When that happens, cells struggle to repair efficiently. Immune response weakens. Normal cell communication breaks down over time. This creates an environment where abnormal cells are more likely to survive and multiply. What creates chronic inflammation? Modern lifestyles unintentionally encourage it. Common contributors include excess sugar and refined carbohydrates, ultra-processed foods, trans fats, and poor quality oils, constant overeating, chronic stress, poor sleep. These factors don't cause disease overnight, but they quietly shift the internal environment toward imbalance, and imbalance is where long-term problems begin. Why sugar and blood sugar matter. One major driver of inflammation is unstable blood sugar. When blood sugar spikes repeatedly, inflammatory signals increase, insulin levels stay elevated, cellular stress rises, highly processed foods digest quickly, flooding the bloodstream with sugar. This creates a cycle of spikes and crashes that keeps the body in survival mode. Whole foods digest more slowly. They help stabilize energy. They reduce unnecessary stress on cells. Stability matters. What people mean by starving cancer. Let's be very clear. Food does not directly kill or starve cancer cells. When people use this phrase, they are talking about changing the internal environment, not attacking cells. A healthier environment includes lower inflammation, better blood sugar regulation, stronger immune surveillance, improved detox processes. In this environment, abnormal cells are less likely to thrive. It's about removing the conditions disease prefers, not making promises of outcomes. Inflammation disrupts cellular communication. Healthy cells communicate constantly. They send signals to grow, rest, repair, self-destruct. When damaged, chronic inflammation interferes with these signals. When communication breaks down, damaged cells may linger. Repair slows, immune response becomes confused. This is why long-term inflammation is such a concern. Not because it guarantees disease, but because it weakens control systems. Food can calm the internal environment. Certain foods are associated with lower inflammation markers in the body. These include vegetables, fruits, whole grains, herbs, and spices, healthy fats from whole sources. These foods provide fiber for gut health, antioxidants to reduce stress, compounds that support immune balance. They don't create miracles. They create conditions for stability. The gut-inflammation connection. A large portion of your immune system lives in your gut. Highly processed foods can disrupt gut balance, increasing inflammatory signals throughout the body. Fiber-rich foods help feed beneficial gut bacteria, strengthen the gut barrier, reduce immune overreaction. A healthier gut contributes to a calmer immune system, and a calmer immune system supports better regulation at the cellular level. This is about long-term patterns. No single food creates inflammation. No single meal fixes it. It's the pattern over time that matters. Years of high sugar intake, processed food reliance, poor recovery can gradually shift the internal environment. But the opposite is also true. Consistent improvement, more whole foods, better balance, reduced excess can slowly restore stability. Empowerment without fear. This message is not about blaming food. It's not about fear. It's not about guarantees. It's about understanding influence. You don't control everything, but you control your daily habits. And those habits help decide whether your internal environment supports balance or stress. Closing thought for this key point: cancer is complex. Health is complex. There are no shortcuts. But one truth remains clear. Backhand index pointing right. Inflammation weakens control back, Hand index pointing right balance strengthens defense back. Hand index pointing right food plays a supporting role in both. You're not trying to fight your body. You're trying to support it. When people think about nutrition, they often focus on calories, protein, carbs, or fat. But there's a deeper layer of food that most people overlook, a layer that operates quietly at the cellular level. These are bioactive compounds. They don't provide energy, they don't build muscle, but they play a critical role in how your body protects, regulates, and defends itself. And science is paying close attention. What are bioactive compounds? Bioactive compounds are natural substances found in whole foods, especially plant foods, that influence how cells function. They include polyphenols, flavonoids, carotenoids, organosulfur compounds. These compounds don't act like drugs. They act like signals. They help guide cellular behavior, support balance, and strengthen the body's natural defense systems. Why plants are so powerful? Plants can't run from danger. They protect themselves by producing protective compounds. When you eat plants, you benefit from those same protective strategies. Foods like broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower, garlic and onions, berries, turmeric, green tea, leafy greens contain compounds studied for their ability to reduce oxidative stress, support detoxification pathways, improve immune regulation, influence healthy cell signaling. This is not about one magic food. It's about a pattern of nutrient diversity. Sulforaphane, a well-studied example. One of the most researched compounds is sulforaphane, found in cruciferous vegetables, especially broccoli sprouts. Sulforaphane has been studied for its ability to activate the body's natural detox enzymes, support antioxidant defenses, help cells manage stress more effectively. It doesn't attack disease. It supports resilience. That distinction matters. Polyphenols and cellular protection. Polyphenols are another group of powerful compounds found in berries, green tea, dark colored fruits, herbs, and spices. They are studied for their role in reducing inflammation, supporting blood vessel health, protecting cells from oxidative damage. Polyphenols help create an internal environment where cells function more efficiently and stress levels stay lower. Less stress means better regulation. Better regulation means better protection. Garlic, onions, and sulfur compounds. Garlic and onions contain organosulfur, compounds that have been studied for their role in supporting immune response, helping detox pathways, reducing inflammation. Markers. These foods have been part of traditional diets for centuries, not because of trends, but because they consistently supported health. Sometimes tradition and science meet at the same table. Turmeric and curcumin. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound studied for its anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic inflammation interferes with cellular repair, immune regulation, healthy communication between cells. Foods that help calm inflammation don't cure disease, but they help restore balance, and balance is the foundation of health. Compounds work together, not alone. One of the biggest mistakes people make is isolating compounds. Your body doesn't work in isolation, and neither does food. Whole foods provide fiber, vitamins, minerals, bioactive compounds, all working together. That's why real food consistently outperforms supplements when it comes to long-term health support. Why diversity matters. No single compound does everything. No single food provides complete protection, but diversity creates strength. Different foods activate different pathways: detoxification, antioxidant defense, immune support, inflammation, control. The more variety you eat, the more systems you support. This is support, not treatment. It's important to stay grounded. These compounds do not cure disease, do not replace medical care, do not guarantee outcomes. What they do is support your body's natural systems, especially when consumed consistently over time. That support matters. Closing thought for this key point: your body already has defense systems. It already has repair mechanisms. It already has intelligence built in. Bioactive compounds don't override that intelligence, they enhance it. When you eat a diet rich in whole, plant-based foods, you're not chasing miracles. You're doing something far more powerful. Backhand index pointing right, you're giving your body the signals it understands. Backhand index pointing right, you're strengthening systems that already exist. Backhand index pointing right, you're choosing long-term resilience over short-term convenience, and that choice, repeated daily, can quietly change everything. Most people think of food in the simplest way possible: calories in, calories out, but that idea barely scratches the surface. Food is not just fuel, food is information. Every single bite you take sends instructions to your body, telling your cells how to behave, how to respond, and how to function. And those instructions matter far more than most people realize. Your body is a communication network inside your body. Trillions of cells are constantly talking to each other. They communicate through hormones, enzymes, neurotransmitters, chemical signals. Food directly influences these messages. What you eat affects blood sugar levels, hormonal balance, inflammation signals, immune response, cellular stress. This means food doesn't just give energy. It shapes behavior at the cellular level. Calories don't tell the whole story. Two foods can have the same calories, but completely different effects. One may spike blood sugar, increase inflammation, trigger cravings, stress cells. Another may stabilize energy, reduce inflammation, support gut health, encourage repair. Same calories, very different messages. Your body responds to quality, not just quantity. Processed food sends stress signals. Highly processed foods are engineered for taste, not communication. They often send signals that say, store fat, increase inflammation, release more insulin, stay in survival mode. Over time, these signals become habits inside the body. Cells adapt, hormones adjust, balance shifts, not overnight, but gradually. Whole foods send repair signals. Whole foods, especially fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, herbs, and spices, send very different instructions. They say, stabilize blood sugar, reduce unnecessary inflammation, support digestion, encourage balance. These signals help the body operate closer to its natural design. Food doesn't force healing. Food creates conditions where healing is possible. Food influences gene expression. One of the most powerful ideas in modern science is this: your genes are not your destiny. Through a field called epigenetics, we now understand that lifestyle factors, especially diets, can influence which genes are turned on or off. Food can influence stress response genes, inflammation, related genes, detoxification pathways. This doesn't mean food changes your DNA. It means food influences how your DNA behaves. That's a huge difference, and a powerful one. The gut is a messaging center. Your gut is not just a digestion system. It's a communication hub. What you eat affects gut bacteria balance, immune system signals, inflammation levels throughout the body. Fiber-rich whole foods feed beneficial bacteria, which produce compounds that help regulate immunity and inflammation. Ultra-processed foods disrupt this balance, sending distress signals far beyond the gut. A healthy gut helps create a calm, stable internal environment. Repetition is how messages stick. Your body doesn't react to one meal. It reacts to patterns. A single unhealthy meal won't ruin health. A single healthy meal won't fix everything. But repeated messages over time become instructions your body follows automatically. That's why consistency matters more than perfection. Your cells learn from what you do most often. This is empowerment, not pressure. Understanding food as information isn't about stress or control. It's about awareness. You don't need extreme rules. You don't need fear-based eating. You don't need perfection. You just need to ask one simple question more often. Backhand index pointing right: what message is this food sending my body? Over time, that question changes habits naturally. Small changes send big signals. You don't need to overhaul everything. Even small changes matter. Adding one extra vegetable, drinking more water, reducing sugary snacks, choosing whole foods more often. These small signals, repeated daily, reshape the internal environment. And the body responds. Closing thought for this key point: you are not just feeding hunger, you are communicating with your biology. Every meal is a message, every habit is a signal, every choice teaches your body what to expect. When you choose real, whole foods more often, you're not chasing a trend. You're doing something far more powerful. Backhand index pointing right, you're sending your body instructions for balance back. Hand index pointing right, you're supporting systems designed to protect you. Backhand index pointing right, you're choosing long-term strength over short-term comfort. Because when food becomes information, most people look for transformation in dramatic moments. A new diet, a sudden lifestyle change, a perfect routine starting tomorrow, but the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Health is built quietly through consistency, not through extreme actions, not through fear-based decisions, but through small daily choices repeated over time. Your body responds to patterns, not events. Your body doesn't panic over one unhealthy meal. It doesn't transform after one healthy smoothie. What it responds to is patterns, what you eat most often, how you live most days, how consistently you support or stress your system. Cells adapt to what they experience repeatedly. Hormones adjust to regular signals. Inflammation rises or falls based on habits, not moments. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. Small choices compound over time. Think of your health like interest in a bank account. One small deposit doesn't seem impressive, but daily deposits grow into something powerful. Adding one serving of vegetables, reducing sugar slightly, drinking more water, choosing whole foods more often. Each choice alone seems minor. Together, they reshape your internal environment. And your body notices why extreme approaches often fail. Extreme diets usually fail for one reason: they aren't sustainable. They rely on restriction, guilt, willpower alone. Eventually, stress rises, consistency breaks, old habits return. But simple, repeatable habits stick. Health isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing enough things well, often enough. Your body loves predictability. Your body thrives on rhythm, regular meals, balanced nutrition, adequate recovery, consistent sleep. When your body knows what to expect, stress hormones stay lower, blood sugar stabilizes, inflammation reduces, repair processes work better. Consistency creates safety. Safety allows repair. Progress beats perfection every time. One of the biggest obstacles to health is the belief that, if I can't do it perfectly, why try at all? That mindset stops more progress than bad food ever could. Your body doesn't need perfection, it needs direction. Eating better 70% of the time is powerful. Improving slowly is still improvement. Making mistakes and continuing anyway is strength. Progress compounds, perfection exhausts. Consistency builds trust with your body. When you support your body consistently, something important happens. Your body starts to trust you. It doesn't stay in survival mode, it doesn't overreact, it doesn't constantly store energy just in case. Instead, systems begin to balance naturally. Repair works better, energy stabilizes, cravings reduce, signals become clearer. Trust is built through repetition. Daily habits shape your internal environment. Remember this key truth: you are always creating an internal environment. Every day, your habits either increase inflammation or support balance. Consistency determines which one wins. A balanced environment supports cellular repair, helps immune regulation, improves long-term resilience, and this environment is shaped slowly, quietly, and daily. You don't need motivation, you need systems. Motivation fades, discipline gets tired, but systems last. Simple systems like keeping whole foods available, eating similar healthy meals regularly, building routines instead of rules. These reduce decision fatigue and make consistency natural. When healthy choices become normal, effort decreases. This is a long-term game. Health is not a 30-day challenge. It's not a quick fix. It's not a deadline. It's a lifelong relationship with your body. And the good news: your body is patient. It responds positively even after years of neglect. It rewards consistency at any age. It's never too late to support it better. Empowerment comes from repetition. You don't need control over everything. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need to show up again and again. One better meal, one healthier choice, One step forward, repeated daily, those steps become transformation. Closing thought for this key point: the most powerful health strategy isn't dramatic. It's quiet, it's boring, it's consistent. Backhand index pointing right small choices, repeated daily. Backhand index pointing right simple habits, maintained over time. Backhand index pointing right progress that compounds. Your body doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for partnership, and when you give it that day by day, it does something remarkable.